Okay, so sorry for the delay. Just had a meeting here. That is the reason for the delay. So we can start now. In the last class, which topic we have ended with? Auto scaling group. So in today's session, I'm going to teach you CLI and RDS. Okay. So CLI stand for command line interface. That means instead of working with console, everything you can do from the commands. Okay. So let me create a quickly an instance. So let me connect to the instance. And one more thing, for this instance, I want to attach the role. Why? Because whenever if I am dealing with CLI, I am going to access every service from the command itself. Okay. So by default, we need to create a role here. And for that role, I need to give the permission. Let's see how it is going to work. First of all, without going to give the role, I'm trying to access a server. Okay. Let's see what will happen. Sudo hyphen I. Okay. So generally, whenever I'm dealing with CLI, okay, every service, instead of accessing from the console, I need to access from the commands. So if I want to see the list of the buckets, generally what I'll do, I'll go to here, I'll type S3, I'll open the page and I can be able to see list of my buckets. Are you able to see? Similarly, I want to see my servers. What I'll type here? I'll type here EC2. Okay. I can see list of my EC2. Okay. In the same way, if I want to terminate my instance, I need to go to the console. And in the console, what I do? I select the option and I click on terminate. Okay. So instance, click on terminate. So what will happen here now? Everything I can do from console. But in real time, some services definitely you need to maintain from the CLI. Okay. So for example, let's say in CLI, here we are going to divide our comments into three parts. Part number one will be your cloud provider name. What is my cloud provider name here? AWS. And part number two will be service name. Service name will be, for example, if I am dealing with S3, I need to type here. Now, if I deal with EC2, I need to type here EC2 like that. So these two will be common. Part number one will be your cloud name. Part number two will be your sub command. And part number three will be like, sorry, service name here. Part number three will be sub command. For example, what is the command to list the bucket? Like list the files, ls, to copy, cp, to move, to delete, rm. This is going to be the standard format. Cloud name, service name, command. Tell me the common pattern. Cloud name, service name, command. For example, in this way, if I want to list the buckets, what is the cloud name? AWS. Service name? S3. What is the command to list? LS. So you are getting error. Unable to locate the credentials, please configure by using AWS configure. Is it a safe way to give AWS configure credentials? No. Why? Because anybody can take it. So instead of giving that one, I'm going to give a. So go for action, go for security, modify IAM role. Next year, I want to go give this role. Of course, this role have the full access. Admin access this role has. Which access? So update. Now after updating, if I go and check out this AWS S3 LS, am I able to list the buckets now? How am I accessing the buckets from the comments? How am I accessing, sir? Comments. Let's say I want to see what is inside this bucket now. Okay. I'm manually going and I'll check something here. For example, if I go to this bucket, in this bucket, am I having the data or not, sir? Nothing. Let me go for a bucket which has the data. Let's say in this bucket, I have the data. Generally, where I'm seeing from console. But how to see from the CLI means AWS S3 LS. Give the name of the bucket. S3 colon / name of the bucket. Am I able to see I have the folder or not, sir? Inside the folder, what I have now? Let's check this. Wait, inside the folder, I need to give dev. So here in this way, you can see whatever the files. For example, if I go and upload a file in S3 bucket, if I try to upload a file, let's take the documents or the downloads. I'm uploading a normal file, okay? I'm uploading this log file. So if I go and give the AWS S3 LS now, ultimately I'll be getting the log file here. Am I able to see log file or not, sir? You can list the buckets and you can see what is inside the bucket also. Now in the same way, can I create a new bucket? Means of course I can create the new buckets. How can I create the new bucket? Means AWS S3 will be common. So if I want to create a bucket, MB stand for make bucket. MB stand for what? I'm creating a bucket called S3 colon / new DevOps 9900, like some random name I'm giving. If you go and see the bucket created or not, sir. If I want to list them, AWS S3 LS, give this one. Am I able to see here new bucket? Where is a new bucket here? Here, are you seeing this one? Similarly, if I want to delete them, so AWS S3 instead of MB, I need to give RB. MB stand for make bucket. RB stand for remove bucket. Correct. Okay. So again, CLI commands, I have already given everything to your notes actually. So you need not to note anything. If you go to AWS documents here, let me show them. So if I go to downloads, sorry, desktop, the AWS. Where is my PDS? CLI is not here. 1, 2, 3. Give me a second. The CLI notes is not visible for me. Yeah, here it is. Let me copy and give it to the other nodes. You go inside, are you seeing this one? CLI. So how to list the bucket, how to make the bucket, how to remove the bucket, everything. So in the same way, now I want to copy the file from server to my bucket. Let's say I'm going to have file one here. So give touch file one. Where is the file one? In my server. I want to copy it to the new DevOps bucket now. How I can do? Tell me what is the syntax? AWS. Service name will be S3. And what I want to do? Copy to which bucket? To S3 bucket. S3 colon slash slash name of the bucket. And what is the name of the file? File one. You need to give here. Okay. File one. Now it is indicating from the AWS cloud, from the S3 service, user want to copy. What you want to copy? File one to which bucket? S3 bucket. So wait, no such bucket. Oh, sorry. I removed the bucket. Wait, sorry. I have given RB, right? So again, I need to create them. So just to give MB. Now the bucket got created and just copy it now. Is the file copied or not, sir? And even if we go and list them now, instead of AWS S3 CP, just to give LS. LS stand for list. Now if I hit enter, am I able to see file one here? Even though if you go and see from the graphical user interface, in the GUI also, you can be able to see the file one there. Wait, it is not that one. Let me search for the bucket. Here are you seeing new bucket here, new DevOps. Are you seeing file one here? That's it. So in this way, you can be able to copy the files from server to bucket. Sir, from bucket to server also possible means yes, of course it is possible. Let's say I have a file on my local laptop where I have how I can copy the file from local laptop to bucket means we can from the server means we have two ways. First we can use bucket as the medium. Second one we can use WinACP. If I click on upload, I am adding a local file here. For example, let's say in my local, I have the file called Maven 1. Are you seeing Maven 1? That is a file. I'm uploading to the bucket. Now I want this file from bucket to my server. How I can do means simply go here, copy the URI. Are you seeing URI? Again, command will be same. AWS S3. I am copying. What I am copying? File. Where is the file? In the new DevOps bucket, I have the file and I want to copy to my current folder. Current folder means dot. And one more thing here, the file name should be given properly. If you give these kind of things, it won't accept. Let me rename the file actually. Rename the object. So I'm giving it properly now. So I'm just giving Maven PEM. Why? Because we cannot give all the different file name types. Now go and copy S3 URI. Tell me the command one more time. AWS S3 CP dot. If I go and give now the Maven file, will come to our local or not, sir? Cat maven dot pem. Are you seeing it now? So by this way, you can copy the files from server to bucket and bucket to server. Command is AWS S3 CP. That's it. So even though if you want to remove, you can remove it. For example, let's say in my file, in my bucket, I have a file. I want to remove that file from the bucket from command line. How can I do it? Means simple. Here instead of AWS S3 CP, just to give RM. RM stand for from the AWS console of S3 service, I am removing the file. What is the name of the file? Maven.pem. Okay. So now automatically in the bucket, the file will be removed. If you go and see, is the file deleted or not, sir? File removed here. In the same way, I want to remove file 1 also. What I'll put here? AWS S3 RM file 1. Are you seeing it now? If I go back, if I click on refresh, are you seeing anything here? No. So this is the way how the things are going to work for you. From the CLI, instead of managing everything from the console, you can manage from CLI. CLI we use for some sort of works. Okay, for some works we definitely use it. And one of the use case where I used the CLI commands is for syncing the objects. For where? Syncing the objects. Let's say in my bucket, I'm having some data. I want to copy the data from bucket 1 to another bucket. Okay. So that I can use sync. But tomorrow session, I'm going to teach S3 buckets. There I'll teach you what is sync and everything. Okay. As of now, I'm not teaching. In upcoming days, I'll teach. Okay. And next will be, let's say if you want to copy the file, you know, AWS S3 CP is the command. But if I want to copy a folder, let me tell you. mkdir, I'm going to give the folder called Raham. Touch. Inside the folder called Raham, I'm going to give files dot file 1 dot file. Okay. Now in the folder of Raham, are you seeing the files here? I want to copy to the new bucket. So command I can give is AWS S3 CP. Which one? CP. Instead of RM, put CP. So here, what I need to put here now? AWS S3 CP is the command. What I'm copying? Files. Where is the files? Inside? Inside Raham folder, I have all files. I want to copy all the files. To which bucket? New DevOps bucket. Okay, hit enter. Now ultimately you are going to fail. Why? Because while I'm copying the entire folder, you need to put hyphen hyphen recursive. What I need to put? Recursive. But again, it is going to get the same thing. Why? Because here we should not give star. Just to give the folder name. That will be enough. If I hit enter, automatically files are copying or not, sir? Directly you can copy a file. But if you want to copy the folder, you need to put here recursive. Otherwise, the folder will not be copied. The same thing I have mentioned here. Hyphen hyphen recursive will indicate I need to copy the folds. Sorry, complete entire folder itself. That's it. And again, you can do versioning. I think all of you know how to enable versioning. Already in the KOP script, I shown you how to enable the versioning and everything. So it is not required here. So just keep it off. In the same way, sir, not only your S3 activities, even though if I wanna do some server activities, for example, let's say I have a server. I want to stop it, I want to terminate it, and I want to create from CLI. You can do whatever you want. Let me show you. For example, from CLI, if I want to create a server, you know, we can create a server from CLI. Let me show you the command. If I go to Google here and type EC2 creation from AWS CLI, there is a big command which you need to understand here. I'll copy them here. Wait. If we go in, are you seeing this one, sir? This single command is going to create a EC2 instance. What it is going to create? Let me copy them. and let me paste it. So here I'm pasting this one, but before executing, I'm just explaining this one. From the AWS EC2, I'm running the instance. What is the image ID? Give an AMI ID. Already, I have one AMI. I'm going to use same AMI ID. But if you want to use different AMI ID, we can go and we can use it. This is the ID. Okay. And how many servers I want here? One. And what is the instance type here? Hit enter. The moment if I hit enter, and one more thing, here we need to specify the region also. I need to give hyphen region. Okay, hyphen region. Where you want to launch the instance? US East 1. Automatical instance got created or not, sir? If you want me to show, go here and click on refresh. Okay. Currently, new server will be coming. Are you seeing new server is coming? That means with the help of single click, single command, our server is creating or not, sir? So like in this way, with the help of CLI, we can be also able to create the servers. So this is the command. Okay. Again, I'll explain one more time. Okay. From the AWS console, like from the AWS cloud, in the EC2 service, I am running the instance. What is the image? This is the image. What is the count? How many you want? One. And what is the instance type? TD micro. And what is the region? That's it. So now if I want to list out the instances, basically what we do to list AWS, EC2, LS. This command will not work for the EC2. Why? Because if I want to list out my instances in AWS, I need to use AWS EC2 describe instances. Okay. And here we need to give region, guys. Hyphen region. In which region instances you want? US East 1. Are you seeing the list of instances here now? Describe means it is gonna give the complete information. Simply your inspect command. In Docker we use inspect, right? Why we use inspect? To get the complete information. Okay. So if I want to inspect here, I need to give AWS EC to describe instances. Next one. Next one. Here, for example, if I want to show the data on output format, like table format. See, currently I'm seeing JSON format here. Which format? But I want the output on table format. Put hyphen output is equal to table. So put here hyphen output table format. Now you can see the output on table format. And one more thing here, whenever if it is asking region, every time, don't give region every time. Give AWS configure command. Which command? In this, don't give access key, secret key, but give region here. If I give region here, oh, sorry, I given region as region. Wait, sorry. What is the region I want to give? US East 1. Output is on table. Now, if I give US East 1, every time I should not give US East 1 here. This is one of the example, okay? If we go and see, I'm using output as table now. Am I getting it now? Is it asking region this time? No. Why? Because region I have given on AWS configure. Sir, now here what you can do, if I use AWS to describe instance, it will get the complete information of all the instance, but I want to get only one instance information. So in that case, AWS is to describe instance, put hyphen instance IDs. Hyphen instance IDs. Let's say I want this instance complete information. Now, if I give this command, it will going to show me only that one instance information. It won't show all the instance information. Are you seeing it now? And in the same way, now currently that instance is running. If I want to stop it, instead of describe, put stop. If I click on refresh, currently it is going to which state? Previously it was running state. Okay. So in that way, we can create the servers, we can list them, we can describe them, we can stop them, we can terminate them also. That means instead of managing the services from the console, we can manage from the CLI itself. Is it clear for all of you? Yep. Online is the concept of CLI. Clear for all of you? Can you please confirm? So currently the server is on mid state here. If I want to delete that one, so instead of stop, put terminate. Or if I want to start here, put start. So if I click on refresh, is it going to be state now? Shutting down means terminate. Fine. So next here coming to IAM, we can also create IAM users. We can also delete them. We can do whatever we want. For example, if I use AWS IAM list users, it is going to list out all the IAM users. Are you seeing the list of IAM users now? So if I want to create a new IAM user, AWS IAM, instead of list, put here create users. Okay, create users and put here hyphen hyphen username. Like I'm gonna give the username as user name as like I'm gonna give Raham. Create user. Okay, wait. Create user is there, not users. Is the Raham user got created? Now give AWS IAM list users. I'm able to see Raham user here. In the same way, I want to delete them. So AWS IAM instead of create, put delete. User gone now. You can go and check. Do you have any Raham user here? In the same way, I want to list groups. AWS IAM list groups. Are you able to see list of groups now? In the same way, I want to create a group. AWS IAM instead of list, put here create group and hyphen hyphen group name is equal to AWS, let's say. Are you seeing AWS now here? And even if I want to delete them, instead of create, put here delete. Is it gone now? So now have you got the clarity about the concept of CLI? What is the major purpose of CLI? Instead of managing services from the console, you can manage services from the CLI. Okay, that's it. So online is the concept of CLI. Clear for all of you? Can you please confirm in chat box? If it is clear, I can go for the next topic. Okay. Can we use CLI for Jenkins? Definitely, Nikhil, you can use CLI for Jenkins also. Okay, fine. So the next concept is gonna be here RDS. Which one? RDS, the name itself is indicating relational database service. Which purpose we are going to use it? Relational database service. Okay. So now here what I'll be doing, here I'm gonna create a database and the database I'm gonna use to store the data. Let me show you the process of how to create database and how to store data there. So click on dashboard. So it is our dashboard. Okay. So if I go and click on database. Are you seeing create database here? So primarily, like, what is the purpose of database? To store and retrieve the data. So every application need to be store data. I shown you how to install database also. Where we installed database previously? In the Docker concept. Which concept? Docker. But there I have installed database on the container. But here I am creating a database server separately in the AWS cloud. Okay. So here RDS stand for relational database service, which is to provide the database service for the cloud actually. Okay. Here we are going to pay the amount for the usage. For example, if I create database, if I use it for 1 hour, I'll pay for 1 hour. Now, if I use for like 1 day, I'll pay for 1 day like that. So I'm going to create the database here. So database, I'm going to use here standard create. Which one? Standard means you can set your own configuration. Easy means it is going to set the default configuration for some options, but I'm going for standard. So you can take any database engine. I can take Aurora MySQL, Aurora Postgres. These two are given by AWS. These two are given by here AWS. So next year I have MySQL, MariaDB, Postgres, Oracle, MySQL Server, I mean like Microsoft SQL Server, and IBM DB2. You can select any of the database based upon your requirement. See, these are self-managed, but these two are going to manage by AWS. AWS has launched these two separately. I'm going to take MySQL database here. So MySQL database is going to be very popular and open source database in the world. Lot of people will use this one. Okay. MySQL and RDS offer rich feature like community edition with flexible and easy scale up for the compute storage. How much of terabyte we can use here? 64 terabytes. And it is going to have the automation backup. That means if I want to take the backup of my database, automatically it can take for itself. We don't do it. If I give a time, based upon the time, the database is going to take the backup. Next, support for 15 read replicas. Support for 15 read replicas per instance within a single region or 5 read replicas of cross. That means, for example, if I create a database here, okay, for this database, I have 15 replicas. Which replicas? These 15 replicas will perform the read operation. For example, if I want to read data from this database, instead of directly I can go for the database, I can read data from this small database. So in that case, my database load is going to be very less. For example, in lab, if you go, this is me actually. These are the mentors. If you get any doubt, instead of coming to me, you can directly go to mentors or not, sir. If mentors can give the resolution, it is fine. But if mentors can't, if you come to me, I'll give the resolution or not. But in this way, load of me is going to decrease or not. Same concept is also going to applicable for database. Here we have one primary database and some of the read replicas. Read replicas major purpose is to read the data from the database. Next. So I'm going for engine version 8.0.35. Here you can use enable RDS extension support. Extension support is nothing but by selecting this option, you consent to be using charge for this offering if you are not running your database in major version. That means if I want to extend my RDS support, if I click on this one, automatically I can extend it. Coming to template, production, dev, test or free tier. But if you want to practice, if you want to know what is RDS, definitely you can use the option number 1. This to know. But in real time, if you are using for developing environment or testing environment, that means inside of your organization only, you can use dev or test. But in real time, definitely we are going to use prod. If I select a free tier, options will not be visible. Why? Because for free tier, we don't have these options. But if I use dev or test, these options will be available. Coming to availability and durability, if I select first option, how many database servers I have? Is single database good for production? Second one, multi-AZ. That means it is going to provide one primary database and standby database. That means I have two databases. It is my primary database. It is my secondary database. If something happened to primary, I have the secondary database. And these both are going to be running on two different availability zone. Okay. So, and one more thing, if you want to write the data, it is primary, it is secondary. Secondary database will not write the data, it will show the data. Okay, that is just to show the data, but not to write the data like this. And there is one more option called multi AZDB cluster. That means one primary database, two secondary database. If I select this one, okay, as of now, I'm going with multi AZDB cluster. Why? Because I have one primary database and I have one secondary database. Database name, I'm gonna give database one. What is the username here? Admin. Okay. So if I scroll here, coming to next one here, coming to instance configuration for database server, what is the instance type you want? I'm going for DB large. That means how many CPs I have? How much of RAM I have? 8 gigs of RAM. Correct or not? Okay. So if I scroll here, next coming to the storage type, minimum for database you get 100 GB minimum, and maximum we can get up to 65,500. That is the maximum storage you will get for database. Coming to IOPS. IOPS stand for input output per second. So per second, how many input and output operations are going to write? So coming to connectivity, sir, do you want to connect your database to your server or don't you want? So I want to connect to my EC2. And you can click on drop down. Already I have a server. For this server, I'm going to connect my database. So if I scroll now, completely come to here. At the last, you can see the cost estimation, right? What is the total cost here? 1,477 US dollars. If I compare this into Indian rupees, you know what is the value? 20,000. 20,000, it is 1,23,600. And you said right answer 20,000, but you forgot the 1 lakh before it. Okay. So this is the cost what you are going to get for the EC2 instance, I mean, the database creation. So like this. And after that, if I click on create database, automatically my database is going to create. But after practicing, immediately you should need to terminate. Why? Because the cost is going to be very, very high. So I'm just quickly showing the database creation. It is going to create, and this database will take a lot of time to delete itself. It won't delete immediately. It will take very lot of time to delete. Okay. So wait for some time. Currently this is on which state? Wait for some time. In the meanwhile, I'll try to go and create the, sorry, connect to the server. It is already there. So try to install MySQL. How to install MySQL? Simply go and give yum install. So MySQL is installed. So after that, here you are going to give the password. So just give MySQL -u. U stand for user. Username is by default admin, and -p stand for password. Sir, my question is, how do you get the username and password? Okay, initially while creating database, you have the option to set your own password, but I have give the default option. So in this case, if I click here in the section of connection, wait. Wait. Username is there and password I need to retrieve. Wait. There is a section here to retrieve the password. Customer default I have given. Wait, here you can get it. I forgot the exact location where it is going to store. Yeah, here. Are you seeing this one? Credentials here, okay? It is the password. Okay. So in the AWS secret manager, it is service separately. AWS secret manager. That means AWS SM. The purpose of secret manager is to store the secrets. Here I have the secret. I have taken this one. And one more thing. So you need to give the host point also. So it is the endpoint. So if I go here in the connectivity and security, connect to the endpoint. Copy this endpoint. How to connect means MySQL -u username will be admin -h. H stand for host name, that is the endpoint, and give -p. P stand for password. But don't give password here. If I hit enter, it is going to ask me the password now. Just to go and give your password itself. Am I able to log into MySQL now? Now I'll do create database called Raham. Database got created. If you want me to show databases. Are you seeing Raham here? If I want to delete database, so just to give the command, instead of create, put delete. Delete database called Raham. Sorry, in a database, we cannot delete. We need to use drop actually. Sorry. Give the command drop database. If you go and say, am I able to see database here anymore? No. Why? Because it got deleted. So in this way, you can be able to create the database and you can be able to use it. But remember, after creating the database, immediately just terminate. Why? Because the cost is going to be very, very high. So here directly I cannot able to delete. Why? Because I have the deleted on termination protection. If you go and see, if I try delete me, it is not going to happen to me. So in the section of modify, you can go and you need to disable this option. Are you seeing termination protection here? Click on modify. So finally, after this, click on this one and you need to go for delete the database. What I need to delete here? Just type here delete me. And again, it will take a lot of time to create and a lot of time to delete actually. Okay. That's it. Are you seeing it is deleting now? No, why? Because I need to select this option. So click on delete database. So ultimately it will come from modifying to Okay. So that's it. In today's session, I shown you how to use the CLI and how to use the RDS. Okay. Again, today's session started a little bit like late. Why? Because I just had a meeting with our team here. That is the reason for delay. From tomorrow, we will be having the class as usual normally. Okay. So if you are having any doubts or any queries, you can ask me now. Yeah, Akhil, you can go ahead now.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, regarding that read replica, in the sense that these replicas are only for the read operations.
Yes.
So this is for reason for what this?
See, read replicas will help us to get the data. If you send every
Yeah,
info, like every request to main database, it is going to be have a lot of load. To
yeah.
decrease the load, I'm using read replicas.
So suppose this says there are 15 replicas are there. So suppose we have 15 replicas in the one machine, and
Hmm.
so all whatever in the primary machine, primary database, if we have one operation, so it will all immediately sync with all 15 replicas.
Yes, if you do one write operation for the main database, immediately read replicas will get the same data.
Okay. And regarding that availability zone, there is a primary and secondary. How that different it is from the
Your
replica?
voice is low, Akhil. I'm not able to hear. Can you speak loudly?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Somewhat of better.
Yeah. So there is one more like availability zone, right? There is a primary and secondary database. So
Hmm.
how it is different from the this read replica?
Primary database will do read and write activities. Secondary database will do only read activities. That's it.
It's like a replica only.
Yeah, read replica is nothing but your second. No, secondary database is what exactly I said of read replica.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So we have two databases, right? One is
Yes.
primary, second one is
Secondary.
secondary. Secondary
Yeah.
database is what exactly were read replica. Okay, if you want me to show, let me go for the official documentation. RDS replicas. Or let me go for the pictures. Why? Because in the picture you can see a lot of data. If you go and see here, currently my primary database is there. Here my
Yeah.
primary database is doing what here? It is going to perform the
Read and write.
and write. And I have secondary database. That is only read replicate. Can read the data, but it cannot able to
Mhm.
write operation.
Right.
I
Right.
think it is clear for you now.
Yeah, but suppose like in the load balancer, suppose in here, if primary got primary database got some problem, so this kind of point of failure.
Hmm.
So
You
so there is
you
no
can use
other
some
way.
other database like in like we can create cluster. Unfortunately, if some database is not working properly, we can use
Mm.
second one. See here, that is what I'm telling. Here I have the master database and I have the secondary. If I use
Yeah.
synchronous replication, it is going to possible for you like Akhil.
So this secondary database is proper database which has write operations as well.
Yes, yes. Apart from secondary database, we can also create some read replicas also.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
All right, all right.
Yeah.
Fine, thank you.
Thank you. So here, like if you want me to show this one, it is going to be better one. It is a primary database. These are two secondary database. Again, for secondary database, you are having replicas or not, sir? This is the best clarification. I hope it is like very clear for you now, Akhil. Okay. So Venkatesh, not only EC2 Venkatesh, we use lot of services. With the help of only EC2, just host the application. But to provide the load balancer, we need to use load balancer. To scale it, we need to use auto scaling group. To store data, we need to use bucket. To provide privacy and security, we need to use load balancer. And again, for the permissions, we need to use IAM. Lot of concepts you're gonna use, not only one or two. Okay. Hope it's clear. And today is which day of the course? I mean, like how many videos has been done till now? Is anyone having videos here? By today, 48, huh? Okay. Okay. So that's it for today's session, guys. I'm just leaving a bit early. Why? Because like I'm not having my voice very clear today. Okay. Let's connect on tomorrow's session with some new topic. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you.